he would always obviously be doing something. Like, you could just tell. I just wanna see the light.
What is up, everyone? It's your girl Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of story time. I'm here with
Jessica, me, and we're gonna be spilling some tea.
Oh, just a little bit of tea. I guess if you want to kind of tell you guys how this story is gonna go, we were basically, if you want to put it like bluntly, like talking to the same guy. I was basically the side chick and she actually dated him. That's how it went. So it kind of just like started in high school, which for me that was like 3 years ago. It's like
3 years. No, yeah, 3 years.
So like more than 3 years for me. Basically a mutual friend
both introduced us to the same guy.
And I was kind of interested at the time in someone else, so I didn't really like care too much about it. And so she took interest. She like went with him to prom. They started talking, serious or whatever, which was fine. But that's how I started talking to him. That's how we like became friends, because like I like asked him about it and like all this stuff. They ended up in a relationship, and right out of high school I ended up in a relationship with someone else. So for about, probably like a year, it was good, huh?
Yeah.
Like there was a good solid year.
A good solid year that nothing
happened. You guys already know, like my first boyfriend like cheated on me, did all that, and they were going through like some problems.
We had
also.
some issues.
They had problems.
Things
also.
happened.
Yeah. So I guess we're calling him Speedy.
Speedy. We'll give him that
Speedy.
That title.
Me and Speedy, we were friends, but we never really talked for like the full year because I had a boyfriend. She was with him, and I don't know why, but even then, we didn't even know each other or had any like history, and we still didn't really like each other.
We hated each other for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. We lived close to each other, and she was leaving his house, and like I just happened to be passing by, and I saw that he was still outside his house, and I ended up passing by. We just had a conversation, and he was like, he would always tell me like, oh, like when are you gonna like make me cookies and this and that, like that. He would always tell me that. So I told him, and I had just made cookies. So he was like, well, if you want some, I don't know if it was cookies or cupcakes. I was like, well, if you want some, like you can like you know, come through. So he did, and I guess it kind of started with that. Like there was like something there. Yeah. Nothing had happened, but there was something there. I was still with my boyfriend, and things kind of happened between me and Speedy. So I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend because he cheated on me. I didn't want to be with him anymore. And I told Speedy, and then like things kind of escalated after that. And I'm sure they were still together.
Yes,
they were.
And I was totally unaware of any of this. I knew nothing about her. I knew that they always had something, but I never, ever in a million years would have thought that they would have been actually like together.
Like, and it's just actually something.
Yes, actually something.
And he would always tell me every time that we would hang out that like, oh, like they're not together at the moment, and he doesn't want to be with her and this and that. So that was just the beginning of it all. So for the past like 3 years, we've kind of been on and off. Like every time they would fight, he would come to me. And every time like I cut him off, like he would go back running to her, or he would cut me off and go back to her. So it was just like back and forth, and it was just like, it was crazy because it's like we both feel stupid, but like
I kept that shit so secretive, so low-key that both of us didn't know when they were together or when we were not.
It was sad because I knew, and because we do live close to each other, I knew like, you know, like when she was like with him and this and that, and it wasn't like I was obviously the side chick, so I was kept hidden, but I knew about it, and I was still dumb because he would brainwash me to thinking like, oh, like when I'm with you, like I'm not with her and this and that, and like we've been together for so long, so I can't just leave her like that. Like that's what he would tell me. And so that was just my end of it.
I was completely unaware that any of this was happening. I knew in the back of my mind that he was shady as fuck. Never had his notifications on. Never, like, was on his phone around me. We would be in the car, and he would lean his seat back
Just
and
like
be like... When we were together, he would always obviously be doing something. Like, you could just tell. And I was just so stupid that I didn't want to believe it. And now I messaged Crystal, and she was gonna message me before that. And we talked about everything. We let everything out. And now
so recently, this was the beginning of February, he hit me up again, came to my house. Like, you guys noticed, like, I went MIA, I wasn't really on anything. You guys, like, I posted a little bit of him, so you guys kind of saw. You don't know what he looks like, because, like, I wasn't gonna go that far.
He ain't that special.
Basically, we were talking for the longest time, and he came to my house, and we talked literally for like 4 hours straight, and he was like just telling me all these lies, like, I'm done with her, like, I want to be with you, this and that, and I'm never gonna talk to her ever again. And we were cool for like the good whole month of February until recently. Obviously, things kind of like shit hit the fan, and he started acting really shady with me. And I noticed, the first thing I noticed is that, because we were each other's top best friends on Snapchat, and then all of a sudden we weren't. So I kind of like started getting suspicious, because this is the 4th time. So I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this. So I already kind of knew, and then just for some reason, I literally was home all day, didn't need to go anywhere, wasn't gonna go anywhere, randomly was like, I'm gonna go to the mall, like, I have this gift card, I'm gonna go spend it. So I go to the mall, and like, he's over there like picking her up, and I was like pissed. Like, I was so pissed, like, more at her, like, I was just like,
we shouldn't be mad,
for no reason, because he put us against each other, so we would never find out.
So we would never talk.
So basically what I did is I waited until he got home, and I FaceTimed him, and I was actually like I caught him in the lie. I was like, oh, what'd you do today? Because he went MIA on me, and he had told me he wasn't gonna go to the gym, and then he was like, oh, I went to the gym, and then I went to this other place just to like work on like the car, like the shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, are you sure? Like, really? That you did that? Dude, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should bring this up. I have it.
What?
Our FaceTime. Yeah. You want to see it? I recorded it because I was like, I need to have this, because
to know, like,
just so I can like even like prove to him, like, look at how you talk,
like, look at how you're, like, what you're saying.
So.
Hi.
Oh shit, it's frozen. What's up?
What did you do today?
Here.
Really?
What?
All day?
No, not all day.
Well, since I talked to you?
No. Went to the gym.
I thought you weren't going.
Well, I did, and then I went to the shop because I'm working on demolition derbies.
Why are you lying?
Why are you lying?
Really?
He was like, I'm not
I went to
lying.
the mall today.
And?
And I saw you with Jessica.
And?
So why are you lying?
See, this is what I mean. Like, why are you pressing me?
Oh my gosh, you literally... This is what I mean. Why are you pressing me?
Yeah, oh my god, that's why I was like, I don't know if I should bring it up, but like, dude, I have that. I was more mad about it than sad. I was just like pissed that I let myself, like, I let this happen again. And so I was gonna message her on Saturday. I was like just like up, and I like typed out this thing on my notes, and I was gonna message her, but I knew that they were in contact again, so I didn't know how she was gonna take it, or if she was just gonna go tell him. And I was just like, I don't know if I should just leave it like that. And then on Sunday,
I messaged her.
which was yesterday, I was looking at my message request, and she was like, she like wrote like the same thing I wrote, and I was like, oh shit. And so we just like met up at Starbucks, and then we talked about everything, like laid everything out on the table. I told her everything about us and me and him, and It's just sad.
Sad for him to do that to her, but to also for me to be so clueless. And she wanted to tell me so many times, and I'm just like, I knew something was happening in the back of my head, but like,
It's just like you didn't think that would come out of him
ever.
because
He's a saint. Ooh, he acts like nothing, like he's perfect, like he's the best person on this planet. I told him, if you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. And he said, we're gonna be together and we're gonna work it out because I want to be with you.
And it's just crazy because we were talking about it, and it was like the same things he would tell her, he would tell me.
Oh, you're so special. You make me feel some type of way.
It's just everything. Everything is the exact same. There's certain situations where like I would hang out with him and like he would tell her a completely different story about like us hanging out.
Saying, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't with her. I don't talk to her. She's not even my friend.
He told me that he says mean things to her, but he made it seem like, oh, because she's this bad person who's always partying and doing all this shit, and it's like, it wasn't even like I've met her and I was like,
totally
oh my god, like
different.
she's so cool.
Like, I am not like that. I don't do anything. I'm focused, driven.
Yeah, and he's always like making up these lies and like feeding it to me so that I wouldn't like her. Like he put us against each other so that this would never happen.
So we would never get in contact.
Yeah, so his like perfect little cycle would keep continuing.
His perfect little plan. And we were on leashes.
Exactly.
Just, no.
Because he always needed someone, so if it wasn't her, it was me, and if it wasn't me, it was her. And so it's kind of just like an annoying situation. Like I would have never expected you to be sitting like in my room.
Literally, like I would be so mad every time she was brought up, and just like no point. There's no point.
We would get like literally like someone would bring you up, and I'd be like, oh, like
fuck her, like
no, and we talked so bad about each other without even knowing each other. It was all
like I never once have met her besides this time.
We never talked. It was none of that. It was just all like what he would tell us. So it's just annoying that like he got away with it for like over like
so
3 years, like just doing that to both of us. Like we kind of pinned everything together, and he would always be like, oh, I'm not with Jessica when I'm with you, like this and that, and we kind of pinned stories together and realized that that's a lie too.
The timeline's wrong. Like
that's a lie too. And that he was at times with me when he was still in a relationship with her. And it's sad that you can do that to someone. Like
you could be fine with yourself.
Yeah.
And still be like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. I don't need, his words. I don't need any of you guys. I can go get another girl. I can do whatever I want. Be free.
Which is a lie.
You go do that while we're sipping tea over here.
For real. It's sad that he knows that we can do so much better. Like
look at what he lost.
For real. Like I even showed her messages. I laid everything out for her. I was like, this is how it was. I have no reason to lie to you. Like he just doesn't exist to me anymore. It's just
same here. He's just nothing. Nothing matters anymore.
Exactly.
We could do better than that.
Yeah.
We don't need his ass. And
it's like people are gonna be like, oh well, Crystal, like why did you keep going back to him after that? It's like he brainwashes you.
He literally brainwashed me, thinking that I was wrong. Like I was like an idiot.
That you were in the wrong for so long.
Yeah. And when he was the one doing it, like I just don't get it.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not easy, especially when there's like feelings involved.
Yeah.
Like you just get brainwashed.
But then to have those feelings for both people and to act like nothing, like
or the same way towards both people.
Literally the same words, the same things you're doing, like it just doesn't make any sense.
It's like you go out with me one day and then you're without her and the next day, like how are you okay with that?
Like how does that make you feel? Like I guess this is how people are. I guess this is how men are these days.
It's sad. Like and he still denies everything.
Everything. He still told me, oh, like the last time they hung out, and obviously they were together, they were posting pictures, and every time I asked, we weren't together, but I would be like, oh, are you guys like together? Are you guys talking? Are you guys hanging out? Oh, no, we're just friends. We're not even together. When they were the whole time doing stuff, they were together, which is fine. I respected that. If you're gonna be with her, then don't talk to me. Like,
What's worse is that like even when we weren't talking, like we would still talk on a regular basis. Like,
and I was completely unaware of that.
Yeah, and like I even feel bad about that
Yeah.
too, because but he always would tell me, oh, we're just friends. Like we're just trying to be friends. Like I can't be with her anymore. I just want to be friends with her. So that's why I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm still gonna talk to him, be friends with him.
Yeah.
Like he would call me his best friend. He'd be like, you're my best
When
friend.
every time she would come up in a situation, you'd be like, oh, fuck that bitch. I don't even talk to her.
Yeah. No. And he would call me, yeah, he would literally be like, oh, like, you're my best friend, like this and that.
For you to think you're a good person and you're fine and you're so amazing,
Yeah, and
you're
it's
doing
like,
this shit behind everyone's back.
I never even knew that they were officially back together, and that's even worse because he would still message me, like, flirting with me and talking to me, and it's just like, dude, like, you're with someone.
Like, stop it already.
Honestly.
And it's neither of our, it's all him.
Mm-hmm.
It's none of our faults. We didn't know. We were.
And I always wanted to tell her, but because, like, we always were pinned against each other and didn't like each other, it was always like, oh, I'm not going to say anything.
Like,
yeah. Like, I'm not going to message her because it's just going to cause drama and, like, you know, and, like, it was still always in the back of my head, like, okay, like, giving him the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, yeah, maybe
this time, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he'll, like, be, like, good this time, or, like, maybe, I don't know, just, like, all this bullshit, but no, it's over. It's just
Done.
you can't anymore. 4 times is enough for me,
And I don't even know how many times.
dude, I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for him. What's even worse is that, like, he goes off on her and then it's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I was really mad, and I just wanted to apologize. And oh, you want to come over and hang out? Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
When probably like an hour before that you were like FaceTiming her. Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, how are you okay with yourself?
That covers pretty much most of it. We didn't even talk about him Speedy.
Oh,
Mr.
Speedy.
But yes, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment down below what you think about the whole situation. Make sure they're all nice comments or I will just disable my comments. Please. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Oh, so fucking funny.